sound, it crashes in all around, it gets in. Now take your hands and raise them up into the air. That's all around you. Now bring them down like a clock at 2. Shake your head, you know what to do.
Hey, how you doing? My name's Joe, and I'm a paraplegic. Today, Tambourine Mountain, going for a bit of a bushwalk in Queensland. Let's do it.
Guns in the sky, guns in the sky, guns in the sky, guns in the sky.
Some of you may be able to recall last July, at the end of my Paraplegic Goes Walkabout series, I made it all the way to Broome in Western Australia, and unfortunately started getting lots of pain in my back because I got a big infection, cyst on my spine. Here, I'll show you a picture. And so I had to fly back and have surgery to get the infection removed. And I ended up removing the metal rods from my spine as well. But in the lead up to this operation, and the back pain was unbearable. So although I'd weaned myself off all the painkillers about 18 months ago, oh not 18, probably about 16 months ago, and I had to go back on them all again. And it was hard enough the first time, but I had to come off it again a second time, which was easier admittedly, but it was still difficult. Everything hurts more when you wean yourself off, and so then you go through all the phases again, the phases of being miserable, depressed, and not wanting to live, and etc., etc. So it's taken me nearly 10 months to start my walkabout again. But now I'm back, so yeah, hopefully I can do this walkabout without any issues. As I said, I like to project the image that I look rather normal, but it's painful, as I said, with the leg brace on all the time. So I often walk without it, and hence you can see walking stick, and you can probably hear my weird limp. But yeah, I've got to get a balance. I can put up with the pain for a while, but not all day, you know. So. Yeah, but I don't mind, because I have 2 different ways of walking, most people don't. But yeah, but it's great, especially if you're indoors. I can do it easily, so it's not so bad. In trying to manage my pain, I've tried many techniques. I used to be quite desperate in trying to find a way to cure my pain. I tried meditation, tried hypnosis, tried energetics, tried acupuncture, acupressure, tried everything. I guess when you're desperate you kind of have to, and most people will probably go through that process, and there's nothing wrong with going through it. But for me, I wouldn't say it was a waste of money, but it didn't really help that much. It helped with the mind control a little, I guess, but one thing I do recommend is a book called Manage Your Pain, this book here, and I found this probably the most useful book. It teaches you how to accept that you are in pain, and teaches you how to move forward and live with pain. The book definitely helps with your understanding of pain and the difference between acute pain and chronic pain. And some of the most interesting parts for me, or the most helpful anyway, the whole book's interesting, but the best parts for me were pacing yourself. I never used to pace myself in the beginning. I remember I used to just go to the gym, go like crazy to try and get better, and I used to be in agony because I used to push myself too much. And that's when I was taking my highest doses of morphine, actually, because I was pushing myself too hard. So in hindsight I would have went a bit slower, but didn't realise that at the time.
On the wind that lifts her perfume through the air, I'm picking up good vibrations. She's giving me the excitations. I'm picking up good vibrations.
Desensitising is another technique that's good. It's where you focus on the pain. Instead of distracting your mind, you actually focus on it and feel the pain. Like close your eyes and feel it. It really hurts, but do your best not to react to it and just feel what it feels like. And in time, it helps you focus on it and not react to it. So it's kind of like practicing not reacting to it.
Wow, pretty safe.
Another technique was distracting your mind. So you're not focused on the pain, because if you're always focusing on it, it makes it worse. But if you're thinking of other things, it really helps. The new things that I've found to do is things such as playing the guitar. I love to do that. Got lessons, and now I've got better and I can actually play, where prior to my injury I couldn't. Making movies. Prior to my injury I'd never really made movies before. Now I've got the time to do these things that aren't so physical. So, because before most of my time was taken up by playing sport, doing physical things, and I didn't have time for the non-physical things, you know. But now I have a passion for it, so it's great. But when I first came off the painkillers and that, I often felt quite suicidal. And you know, I often thought of jumping off cliffs just like this one. But over time I realised I needed to do things that I loved, and things that made my mind tick, that kept my mind occupied, so that I could get rid of these negative thoughts. So I'd visit places like this, which is, you know, quite beautiful, as you can see. And hence I travelled Australia in my camper van to do something that I loved. And I think that's definitely a big key in coming off the painkillers, is you need to do other things to make life worth living. So my advice to you is to find positive things in life, things that you love, things you enjoy, and focus on them. There's no point focusing on the negatives, because it's only going to drag you down. Stay positive, and in time I promise you it'll get easier. It'll take a long time, but you'll get there.